Today we're talking about adding and subtracting polynomials. But first, what's a polynomial? It's the sum or difference of two or more monomials. Remember, monomial is one term. This is something really important to remember. When we add or subtract, we can only add or subtract like terms. And remember, like terms are terms that have the same variable with the same exponent. And I'll be explaining a little bit more in detail as we go through some examples. So here's our first example. I want to combine these two. These are actually binomials because they're two terms separated by a plus sign. So I want to look for like terms. So I can see the number by itself, 1 over here, along with 5 over here. I'm going to put 1 underline under those just so I can keep track of what I've already combined. So I have 1 plus 5, which is 6. And now I'm going to look at the other terms, which both have a b to the 4th power. So I'm going to put 2 underlines under those. And so they have same variable, same exponent for both. So I'm just going to combine them by adding the coefficients to both. So that becomes 10b to the 4th power, and there's nothing else that I can do there. So you leave the exponent the same, you're just combining the coefficient. And these are not like terms, so I can't combine those at all. In our next example here, I'm going to look for like terms again. So I see n to the 3rd power. I'm going to put 1 underline under that. N to the 3rd power is over here, 1 underline under that. And again, I'm going to combine the coefficients. So 4, excuse me, 4 plus 8 is 12 n cubed. Then I'm going to look at the other two terms. I have 7n squared. I'm going to put 2 underlines under that. And I have negative 5n squared. So 7 minus 5 is 2. And again, you don't do anything with the exponent, you just combine the coefficients. So this is different than when we were multiplying monomials. Here's a little bit different because now I'm subtracting everything in the second set of parentheses. Because of that, you can think of that as sort of as this sort of being a -1 right here. So I'm really sort of distributing this -1 to both terms. So what I'm going to do is change this subtraction to addition, and I'm going to change every symbol inside the parentheses in the second set of parentheses here. So this becomes a minus and this becomes a plus. And now I'm going to continue with what I did in the first two examples. So I'm looking for any n squared term. That's right here. So I'm just going to combine those coefficients. So 5 plus 4 is 9n squared. I have 2n and negative 5n, so that becomes minus 3n. And that's it. So here is actually a polynomial added to another polynomial. And so again, I'm just going to go through and underline the like terms with the same number of underlines. So I have 7a to the 4th and 5a to the 4th, and I'm adding these together. So that becomes 12a to the 4th. Now I'm going to look for any a cubed terms. So I have 2 plus 5, which is 7a cubed. And then I have, excuse me, negative 4a and 8a. So that becomes a positive 4a. Nothing else I can do here because I do not have like terms. So that's my answer. Why don't you go ahead and try this one on your own? And I'm going to show you one more example here. Make sure you try this one. Go ahead and pause the video to try that. And so you can see I have a subtraction sign here. I'm subtracting everything in the second set of parentheses. The only symbols that are going to change are everything in the second set of parentheses. So I'm going to change this to a plus, and I'm going to change every single symbol. Don't forget about the positive in front of the 7 here. So that becomes negative, this becomes positive, and this becomes positive. So I'm going to go through and look for any x cubed terms. I have one right here. So I have 5 plus 3, which is 8x cubed. Now I'm going to look for a number by itself, which is right here. 6 plus 6 is 12. And x to the 4th. So I have negative 4 minus 7. That becomes negative 11 x to the fourth. And we will continue with all of this in class.